Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness. Our scene is set for the Street Magic or Mage venue, and it takes place, well, at a meeting place where all three of the gathered mages can feel somewhat safe. And so, as night has fallen on the East Coast, Maggie is currently sitting on a sand dune with a vape in hand, a thermos filled with what could probably pass for by smell as a hot toddy, looking out at the ocean from the point at Montauk, a place that Ken has been to once before.
Ken's not that special about the way he approaches. Hands are in his pockets, or rather the pockets of his coat because it's cold out.
Escher will approach with him. She's just kind of like playing on her phone as they walk towards the area.
Maggie will, upon hearing their approach coming through the sand, she won't really say much, but she'll offer up a wave as she continues to look out at the water.
Escher will wave back.
Where's your crown?
Don't do crowns.
You're wearing one when you told us dismissed.
It's a freaking piece of paper from Burger King.
They look good. Just saying.
It was very majestic, very befitting.
Ken unpockets a hand to pinch the bridge of his nose.
Not in the mood for fun today?
I haven't been in the mood for fun for a very long time. What's up?
No. I haven't touched base with you in a while. Not since our conundrum of a undead, possibly living spirit amalgamation, quay jerky, whatever you called it, came into our lives.
Yeah, I'm still looking into that.
Just waiting for you to say the word.
There's about 2 things I have to know, and if they're confirmed, I will let you right off the chain. Until then.
Yeah. You guys want to have a seat? It's a clear night out. You can see pretty far out.
Yeah, fuck it. And Ken sits down.
Maggie looks up to Escher from the sand dune.
She'll pocket her phone and she'll plop down as well. And take her shoes off and kind of play in the sand a little.
So, things are fuzzy at best for me when it comes to you. I feel like I've met you before the conference call. How many times have we been introduced?
Probably once or twice before that. I don't always keep great track myself.
Well, either way, it's nice to make your acquaintance again.
Yeah, nice to meet you again for real.
So, this whole situation's getting pretty fucked. But you know me, Ken.
It's the way the world works, isn't it?
You know, I once heard a very, very sage man once say, "Don't accept the world for what it is, but rather what you see that it can be."
Makes sense. Inspirational quotes from a video game help, I'm sure. She grins.
I'm glad somebody got that reference. Sorry if I put you on the spot before, Ken. But you're the only one I think that's really capable of giving us any real direction. I'm not a leader, I'm a follower. And your lead's gotten us out of more jams than one.
Now, the person on my left has heard me say this more times than I care to remember or technically can. I did not ask for this. This is the position that I have been put in, and it's the one I'm going to take.
Well, win, lose, or draw, you know I'll back your play.
We're hoping more so for the win option.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to be in a video of our own.
There are worse ways to go out.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Maggie, I'm not going to lie. Out of the entire congregation, you are one of my designated hitters.
I don't like that role. You know that.
And I don't like being in command.
Last time I flexed any kind of power, Ken, things got really fucked up for a couple people, myself included.
It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. What I need right now, and that's food, water, sleep, need, are people who can pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we do nothing, it's just gonna keep piling on itself and getting worse and worse and worse, and we definitely don't want that.
No. No, we don't. I'm talking about torture. It kind of got me back into thinking about things that I've done before, things that I'm not proud of.
Pride is a
So,
luxury.
Ken, you saw how long it took me to walk away from that path. And the thought of going back anywhere close to it terrifies me.
If it comes down to it, I have people who can do it. Maybe I wasn't clear during the meeting. There is nowhere that I am not willing to go to win this. I would rather light this entire city on fire than hand it to them.
Yeah. I've got to tell my mom. I've got to tell her everything.
You need to tell her to get out of town.
You've met her. You know she's not going to accept that without some kind of...
Then make something up.
If she stays here, any normal ass person that we care about probably has a big target on their back. It just depends on when they see it.
Yeah. But I'm not going to... I can't keep her in the dark anymore. Not after everything that's happened.
So what happens when the circle widens?
With any luck, she'll take me at my word and listen when I tell her that she needs to go. She and Dad need to change their names and assume new identities until this comes to some sort of head.
Maggie, you cannot tell them about our reality. That is not a thing that is done.
It is a pretty important rule you're breaching.
I'm not even in your organization, and I know that. How many people would you think at minimum would have to be mind wiped afterwards? You want to get them out of the city? I can sympathize. But you do not tell them about the reality of your situation.
What do you want me to do? Dive into her mind and make her leave?
Do whatever it takes.
And I need to roll... Let's say diff 8. Huh. She keeps it together. Fairly well. All right, then. Whatever it takes. What about... something I've been meaning to talk to you about? And I mean, hell, every time we get together, something new and even more disturbing than the last time we got together seems to happen, but I've got no place left, Ken. No cabal. Just a friend. And she'll look over at Ken with a sort of a somber smile at that.
Yeah. That's true.
I know you don't like the idea of a large cabal or a large chantry, but I'm hoping whatever succinct plan you've got has room for me without putting too fine a point on it.
Ideally speaking, you'll end up in a group with 2 or 3 other people. We're not leaving people out in the wind anymore.
You seem to be the only one I can work with these days.
I show up a lot. What are you driving at?
I have resources left over from the tower. Things that need to be put into place somewhere. A few things that I had not committed to the temple when it fell down. They need to be invested somewhere.
You're talking about partnering up.
Yeah.
Ken glances at Escher.
We'll need something bigger than an apartment.
Yeah. We will. I'll start looking. Oh, fuck, before I forget. About the whole people walking around problem. Our current charge, be that as it may until the time where we decide otherwise, might have a bit of a target on our back. I'll explain the details to you later, but I'm going to need to bring you and probably our dear boy Scott, when I get the opportunity, to look into her situation.
Honestly, it might just be better to put her out of her misery before this all gets to the point where she's going to be taken captive.
I need to figure out what's going on first.
Do we have that luxury?
We have that necessity.
Good enough, I guess.
You know, I used to have a 9 to 5.
I was getting really comfortable with the one I've got now.
No, not the one I got now. It's salary work, man. It's crazy hours. I used to have like a straight up 9 to 5. Show up at the warehouse, get behind the forklift, put all this shit, just sometimes different parts of the warehouse, sometimes outgoing. 9 to 5. That's what I did, man. Go practice some fucking katas, go sleep. That was my life. Other than like a couple run-ins with some people that I couldn't care less about anymore. 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And even after this whole big thing happened, right? Eyes wide open, still 9 to 5. Keeping low, just kind of living, man. Then I met up with all you guys. Man, it was fucking wild. I used to just scream at the top of my fucking lungs. Ah, this is crazy. What's going on? Why are we doing this? You get deeper and deeper and deeper into that shit. And then that shit happened to you. Happened to you, and I had to fucking step up because I tried to act like Joe Friday. I tried to just call the cops. And it didn't fucking work. And I found myself doing some fucking crazy ass shit, man. Shit I'd never done before in my life. You go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And find myself in another fucking hospital doing a bunch of other crazy shit. And it wasn't until after that. Stood in front of a fucking mirror. Stood there for the longest time I have in a long fucking time, right? And I looked at myself. Since that day, my fucking eyes, they aren't the same color. Hair's not the same color. I don't even vaguely look the same. I can't find bits of me anymore that go on for more than a couple inches without another piece of scar tissue. I can't find parts of my room that don't have bits of fucking cigarette hanging out or some sort of vest or contraption. I don't even think my fucking fingernails look the same anymore. I'm not who I used to be. And it took that day for me to realize that that guy talked that good shit, eyes wide, wondering why everyone's so crazy. He died in a fucking hallway in Mount Sinai. My last name isn't Shreb. It's Lovechild. We become whoever we have to be, Maggie.
Yeah, I know. So, Escher, what's your deal?
What deal?
Just me and your story. You're the first virtual adept I've talked to in I don't know how long. Long ass time. Almost as long as it's been since I was in the hospital last.
She just kind of shrugs. I'm not really sure what kind of story you want me to tell.
I guess the one that's important. How did you become to be, well, part of the magical community?
Some asshole kept fucking with me online and I went to fuck with them back. That's really about it. I came here trying to find said asshole.
Did you find him?
No. With all that's happening here, she's probably dead.
Well, welcome to our chaos, to our mess.
You think this is chaos? Things must have been really nice here before I showed up.
Were you here for our God problem?
I don't give a shit about gods.
I just meant, Things always kind of go from one bit of chaos to the next. If it wasn't technocrats, it was shitty places inside of a wardrobe. It wasn't shitty places inside of a wardrobe. It was serial killers and their FBI friends. And if it wasn't serial killers, it was Norse gods or vampires or any number of fucking things. You hear the stories about things that happened up to 2 years ago. It just kind of makes you wonder. What exactly are we doing?
Surviving. Trying to make this shit mean something. I'm sure there's something inspirational in there.
Yeah. Well, you ever met a honey badger before, Escher?
I think I saw one at the zoo once, but no, I can't say I've ever shook hands with one or anything like that.
Ken's met a honey badger.
I am excessively grateful that you did not bring him.
He's in the car. I left him in there with my phone.
Is that the type of phone that has internet access?
It's the kind of phone that's not registered in my name.
Then you should be all right.
So what are your immediate plans then, Ken?
I have a lot of orders to draft up. I have a lot of things to send people doing. My most immediate plan was get home, stare really, really hard at a bottle of scotch, put it back in the cupboard where I've kept it for some time unopened, and get drafting.
Have you been to my new place yet?
Nah,
You should come by while it's still there.
I'll think about it.
While we're in a somewhat drafty mood, pencil me in somewhere for medical corps. It's one of the few things I'm really good at.
That's good, because I may need to grab you for something unrelated.
If it's anything to do with our redheaded friend, I want nothing to do with it.
She's done.
3 people.
It's done.
Is it really ever done with her?
3 people. It's over.
Yeah, for now.
Maggie, not our immediate concern. If it becomes our concern again, it will be something that I address personally.
Just make sure if you're putting yourself closer to Jor, you be careful with that shit.
Not in Jor.
No. But I have a feeling that some of us are going to get very closely acquainted with it soon.
That's why we stay in groups. Keep an eye on the person to your left and to your right. Loners go insane by themselves.
Yeah.
But no, the thing I'm going to need you for has nothing to do with her. What I do know is that unless a certain someone has gotten medical attention throughout the week since I heard about it, there is very likely a young woman who, if she's still alive in this state, is the toughest person on Earth, hands down, with a bullet in her gut, and probably a blood toxicity that would make a Captain Planet villain blush.
I know this said person.
No, even I don't know her. But
Who's the favor for then?
people pay back their debts.
Well, when you find her, let me know.
All right. Just be careful. White Fox is hitting the streets.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, if you try to treat it, don't touch it with your hands. I pulled out 2 slugs somewhat recently. They burned through the pan I put them in. They burned into the floor. There's little divots now.
There's somebody out there who was hit with white phosphorus and has still got it in them.
Very possibly.
I'm no military expert, but I was sitting in the room when people were playing Spec Ops years ago. That person should be dead.
Yeah. Should be. Might be. But if they're not, I need to make an effort.
Well, get them to me and I'll do what I can.
And if everything works out the way I think it will, we'll probably be coming to them, but that's a topic for another day. If I can even convince their loved ones to let me in the front door.
How much are you willing to force that issue?
We don't have the guns to force it.
They said anything about guns.
And Ken shakes his head slightly. I considered it. It's not the type of thing we can push through that way.
Well, if we're going to do something of that ilk,
It's not something you can make go away with Yang. Even if you did, Slug would still be in there. Blood toxicity would still be off the charts. I'm going to have to get my bag and walk down and be very convincing, very gently convincing. Even
any
when
chance,
Hmm?
any chance you can get her to the tree?
No, not this one.
Yeah.
It's a Monday, we have to be careful. Be honest, the actual wound, I'm just going to have to do up my way. The only thing I need you to wipe out is the blood tox. She's not going to survive if she keeps it.
If you can just get it out of her, I can deal with everything.
All right.
But I'm not putting my hands anywhere near.
That is my job.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't fuck around with the wound. Let that heal naturally. I just need you there to act like you're doing something perfectly normal. And while you're doing something perfectly normal, conveniently get as much of the phosphorus out of her system as possible.
You still have your supplies from your EMT days?
I'm still an EMT.
Get me a couple blood vials and a butterfly kit, and I can at least make it look like I'm doing something. I've got a saline to inject right in. Makes her think.
Saline I can get my hands on. Blood's a little... Fuck it, I'll bleed into him if I have to.
No, I just meant draw it out of her. To draw it out of her like I'm drawing out toxicity. Just makes it a bit more feasible.
We'll see what I throw together. So I've already established you have somewhere to sleep. Don't have to worry about that.
It's under my name.
My apartment is at capacity.
They haven't fucked with me yet. I don't even know if I register on their radar as a Chakravarti or not.
I don't even know how many of me register on their radar.
Wait, how many of you?
Maggie, this stays between you, me, and Escher.
All right.
A while back, I raided a cloning facility. Zahajia were there. I held the last scientist they had by the throat, and I asked him if there were units with a designation under my moniker. All he did was giggle before I killed him. So no, I don't know for a fact if there are more of me. But I also wouldn't be surprised if the fuck up from a year ago had finally come back in on itself.
Told you I didn't like that woman.
Yeah, you did. Anything else you need?
No. Let me know what you guys find as far as a good place to set up shop. I'll bring what I've got.
We'll keep you in the loop.
Cool.
Ken gets up and dusts himself off vainly because he sat in sand. Asher, you good?
She'll stand up too, put her shoes back on.
Right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'll keep a lookout for any places that look suitable for us. Hopefully somewhere a little hard to find, maybe underground.
Back.
Play Overwatch, Esther?
Yeah, of course I do.
Good. Good. Always need something to take your mind off things.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm gonna sit out here for a while. Haven't seen the sun come up over the ocean in a really long time.
I guess I'll leave you to it. You want to pass me your phone number before we go?
She'll give the information.
Thanks. I'd give you mine, but it would just get lost.
Maggie just kind of chuckles, shaking her head. It's an extremely useful and an extremely vexing ability you have there, Esther.
It's more frustration than it's worth sometimes.
And I'm assuming that it's also saved your ass more than a few times.
More than a few, yeah.
Stay safe, Maggie.
I always do, don't I?
Yeah. Sure you do. And Ken begins heading off in a direction.
Escher will hop up and she'll nod to Maggie. Good seeing you again. And she will also head off.
And Maggie will sit there with her thermos full of booze and look out towards the horizon, wondering what's in store for this new merry band of assholes that she's partnered up with. And I do believe that that, my friends, is where we'll call this a scene. Thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching.